Sometimes it only takes a single gesture to shatter a carefully constructed image, a stolen embrace, an awkward glance, a face turned away, and suddenly, everything that once appeared controlled and discreet unravels before the public eye. On July 16, 2025, at Gillette Stadium in Boston, a camera captured what seemed like an ordinary moment. A man wrapping his arm around a woman, her body freezing, her face turning, her eyes trying to hide. But it was too late. The moment had already flashed across the giant screens, and within hours it had spread across social media. What the public discovered went far beyond a fleeting kiss, because the woman in the video was Kristin Cabot, and she hadn't attended the concert with her husband, but with another man, Andy Byron, the CEO of a fast-growing tech startup. The video quickly went viral. The identities of the two people involved were confirmed. And with that came a series of revelations that shook far more than a marriage. Officially, Kristin Cabot was the human resources director at a Boston-based tech company. But what few knew at the time was that she was also the wife of an heir, a member of one of the oldest, most powerful, and most discreet families on the East Coast of the United States. The Cabot name is not just prestigious. In Boston, it represents a lineage, a Protestant, white dynasty, rooted deep in the city's foundations. They are known as the Boston Brahmins. Their influence is not measured in followers or media buzz. It operates behind closed doors, on the boards of hospitals, in elite prep schools, in university endowments, and in philanthropic foundations. The family's fortune exceeds $14 billion, and its power is passed down silently, generation after generation. A well-known local saying captures their status. In Boston, the Lowells speak only to the Cabots, and the Cabots speak only to God. Entering such a circle does not happen by chance, nor by luck. Before marrying into it, Kristin Cabot was far from that world. A Massachusetts native, she had previously been married to an unknown man and lived a quiet life, far from scandal. But in 2020, she made her first appearance among the elite when she joined the board of directors of Privateer Rum, an independent distillery run by Andrew Cabot. 2 years later, she filed for divorce, and to everyone's surprise, she married Andrew Cabot himself, the heir to the dynasty. That marriage catapulted her into a rigid, codified world where every misstep carries consequences. She didn't just marry a man. She married into a structure, a legacy, a reputation, which is precisely what makes the Andy Byron situation so explosive. Because Andy Byron does not come from that world. At 38 years old, he runs Astronomer, a company that specializes in big data analytics, a promising startup on the verge of a crucial IPO. But his rise remains precarious. The market is unstable, funding is drying up, and traditional Silicon Valley investors are growing cautious. To survive, Astronomer needed to plant roots locally. It had to find new channels, and Boston, with its hospitals, universities, and powerful family trusts, represented a gold mine. The problem? That market is locked, inaccessible without connections, without the codes, which is where Andy Byron's relationship with Kristin Cabot takes on a whole new meaning. According to several analysts, their closeness was far from spontaneous. Kristin, now a Cabot by marriage and well-connected within Boston's elite, may have been a valuable asset for Andy, a bridge, a strategic entry point. Some whispered about subtle introductions, discreet recommendations, quiet support that may have helped him secure funding. Nothing illegal, nothing formal. But in that world, it is not contracts that matter, it's access. And that is precisely what made the fallout so brutal. Because what was meant to remain discreet exploded in full view under the ruthless gaze of social media. And in a world built on the elegance of silence, that kind of exposure is considered a betrayal. The scandal erupted in less than 24 hours. The concert footage spread everywhere. Kristin Cabot's name was now linked to a man who was not her husband. And quickly, the story spilled far beyond the personal. Local press picked it up. Financial blogs, tech forums, even some academic circles began asking what this affair truly revealed. Not because of the kiss itself, but because of what it suggested. A blurred line between private relationships, business strategy, and social influence. At Astronomer, the fallout was immediate. The board held an emergency meeting. Andy Byron was suspended, then forced to resign. The company, once poised for its IPO, saw its valuation plunge. Investors pulled out. Some described the project as weakened by serious human misjudgments. Officially, no affair was confirmed. No document proved Kristin Cabot had played a direct role in the company's financial strategy, but in business, perception often outweighs fact. As for Kristin, she was not immediately dismissed. She remained on the payroll but disappeared from meetings, decisions, and shared spaces, sidelined without a public explanation. And in a city like Boston, where everyone knows everyone but no one speaks directly, silence can be a sentence. Her name, once associated with discipline, became synonymous with controversy. Invitations stopped. Smiles froze. The press avoided naming her, but private circles needed no confirmation. Word spread, and it stuck. The Cabot family, true to form, issued no comment, as always. But in their world, silence is a message. Since the incident, not a single official photo has shown Andrew Cabot alongside his wife. No statement, no gesture of support. Some interpret that as a decision already made. Others see it as a quiet fade-out, a way to erase a now uncomfortable presence. In the world of the Brahmins, public shame is not handled through outbursts or lawsuits. It is dealt with through retreat, through disappearance. The ties are severed quietly, but irrevocably. Within weeks, Kristin seemed to have lost everything. Her position, her access to power circles, her place in the Cabot family. From respected heir's wife, she became the one who triggered the scandal, the one who let instability seep into an ecosystem built on order, discretion, and continuity. As for Andy Byron, he is now alone. His ambition, once a strength, has become his downfall. He may have believed that winning over Kristin would open doors to a world that had always eluded him. But that world is not meant to be conquered. It is meant to be inherited, and those who try to enter without an invitation are always reminded where they stand. That kiss, caught by chance, acted as a revelation, not just of infidelity, but of a deeper imbalance between the old world and the new, between the invisible codes of inherited power and the modern strategies of disruption. And in this collision between two visions of the world, neither emerged unscathed.